All right. Shalom. Giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Kahak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Celebrities could be used to persuade people to fight in World War III. Something around the lines of that, all right? And I'm gonna talk about how Esau, Edom, okay, the devil, all right, is going to tap on these celebrities' shoulders, okay, to get out there and do what they do best, to influence the masses of people to go in a certain direction, all right? Because, the common person looks up to these celebrities, all right? A lot of these people out here, frame their identity based on, what they've heard from these highly esteemed figures in this world. Look at, these musicians, these artists, when they do a show, the whole stadium is packed out. NFL, NBA game, the whole stadium is packed out. Okay? So celebrities have a very big influence on the masses of people. And the devil, Esau, Edom, he knows that. He knows that, these celebrities have cultivated the mind of the average person out here. So when World War III officially cracks off, right, you best believe that, these devils are going to tell these celebrities to, snap into a Slim Jim and, pretty much, persuade people to join the military draft, right? Let your guard down and, go fight for your country, okay? And, these devils know that, the common American that gets drafted to go fight in World War III, they're going to die. All right. They're more than likely not coming back home. OK. At that point, all these devils care about is, just putting bodies out there on the field. Right. Just to have a large army. It don't even matter. Casualties of war. OK. So, these celebrities are going to be used to influence people to go in a certain direction when World War III starts. Just like they're going to be used when the mark of the beast is presented. All right. They're going to be used to push the mark of the beast. They're going to be all in the commercials. Right. You know how you got like YouTube ads. They're going to be popping up on your little YouTube ads. Right, you're going to be walking around the city, seeing posters of your favorite celebrity telling you to, get the mark of the beast, get this, get that. And they're not going to say mark of the beast. They're going to put it in a very urban, cultural, crafty, trendy way to make you submit to the will of Satan. So it's going to be the same thing in World War III. All right, because a draft is coming. Best believe. All right, the tensions are starting to reach that boiling point. All right, where all of these other nations is going to say fuck it. Let's meet out in the Middle East, like it tells you in the book of Joel. Right, the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is Yahweh Shaphat, God's judgment, the valley of decision. These nations is going to say, fuck it. Let's just meet out in the Middle East and let's just duke it out. Right. Because a lot of these other countries, they want to be the next superpower because AI, they're trying to set AI up to be the next, global infrastructure of the world. Right. But only one can sit on the throne and, be in charge of that. So you got these other nations fighting for that. They fighting for that power. Okay, this is why America just supposedly captured the Venezuelan president and his wife. Okay, basically trying to say that, you know, the Venezuelan president, you know, is accused of you know, arms dealing and drugs coming in and out of Venezuela, right? A crime syndicate, but really they just wanted that oil. You know, America just wanted that oil. They wanted to control that oil reserve, right? Because the next transition, right? The world is getting ready to be transitioned to the next phase of the New World Order. All right. So America wanted to solidify their spot. You know, they want to solidify their spot and, you know, remain in a seat of authority. So they went to go set that whole thing up in Venezuela just to get that oil. All right. But the common person don't know that. The common person don't do no research. They just, you know, they just see that and they just, oh, well, they must be terrorists, you know, because that's how Esau has conditioned the average person. Everybody who disagrees with American policy is a terrorist, and these people go for it. So you best believe they're going to go for, you know, the celebrity machine, right? You know, their favorite celebrity telling them, go sign up for the military draft, go fight for your country. There's no greater bravery than a man that fights for his country. You know what I'm saying? So let me get this, man, because this is proof of what I'm saying. This picture says Dwight Howard says President Trump should make 1 year of military service mandatory for everyone. Okay, now Dwight Howard is a homosexual, straight up. All right, I just wanted to put that out there. I know that's that doesn't have anything to do with the lesson, but I just wanted to put that out there. Okay, all right. To you know, pretty much discredit what the hell he talking about, you know, and this shows you that a lot of our people that are celebrities, they ain't nothing but some coons and some goddamn jigaboos for the so-called white man. Why is Dwight Howard sitting here calling on Trump, the devil? Okay, why are, you know, this nigga pleading and begging for Trump to do something about something, right? Niggas have sold out, man. But you know, the point is that, you know, Dwight Howard is talking about, you know, the U.S. President Trump should make it mandatory for, you know, every U.S. citizen or as many U.S. citizens as they can to do a 1 year military service, you know. So I don't know if these were his own ideas to say this, or if Esau put him up to this, because, you know, Esau does that. Esau had these niggas, okay, say this on the internet, right? Because it's all about gradualism, right? It's about gradualism. You know, they putting little seeds in your head, and they've been doing this for a couple years. You know, if you've been paying attention in the spirit, all right, these devils have been incrementally telling people that there's going to be a draft, hinting at a military draft, hinting, right? They got to work your mind in a gradualism state, right? That's why there's always, you know, some chaotic talk about a new disease. There's this disease. This could happen. If this disease breaks out, then this could happen, right? But they are going to bring a disease pretty soon. Okay, Bill Gates said, the next one is going to get people's attention. This is what that's what that devil said. Him and his wife. He said the next pandemic is going to get their attention, meaning that it's going to be a crazy disease that's going to affect the American people. But you notice how they're always hinting at this disease, because when it actually comes, you've already been conditioned for it. So they've been conditioning people to accept the reality slowly but surely that, hey, a military draft is going to happen, right? And especially now, because World War III is getting ready to pop off. which lets us know that the chip, the market of BEAST is very close. All right, very close. Let me read this tweet that Dwight Howard said. This is what Dwight Howard tweeted. Like I said, I don't know if this is his ideas or the devil put him up to this. Okay, but you see, this tweet got 1.6 million views. So, this message from this sodomite, Dwight Howard, okay, it did its job. All right. It says, this is what Dwight Howard tweeted on Twitter. It says, random. I honestly feel like the president should make 1 year of service mandatory for everyone born in America. A lot of other countries do it, and I think it would help with discipline and structure. I'm curious what y'all think would help this. Hang on. It says, I'm curious what y'all think. Would this help America or nah? Okay. So he's trying to say that, Americans should join the military for 1 year. Okay. All right. So, hey, in the time of World War III, okay, they could pop Dwight Howard out again. Right. And, because he's already taken a stance on what he thinks. Like, oh, yeah, I think it's a good idea for people to join the military. It's a good idea for everybody to be, have to do mandatory military service. So he's already solidified his position, okay, in regards to World War III. So they could pop this nigga back out again when shit actually pops off, okay, and he could be one of the frontline niggas, trying to get people to, join the draft. All right. Let me get some scriptures. Okay, let's get some scriptures. Let's get this. This is Matthew 24:6. It says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Okay, wars. All right. You got Russia and Ukraine still going at it, right? And then a rumor of war would be like, China and Taiwan. China is just set up near Taiwan and they're doing military drills, getting ready to, take over Taiwan for its resources. You know what I'm saying? So these are the wars and the rumors of wars that we're seeing all over the television. Okay. Which is all alluding to World War III, an all-out war, Armageddon. Okay. It says, see that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Okay. So we're in that time period of wars and rumors of wars. And a part of wars and rumors of wars is going to be talks. There's going to be talks pretty soon of people being drafted into these wars. Okay. People having to go put their lives on the line for their country. I think Russia who said that? Somebody, man. Ah, damn. Was it Switzerland? Hang on. Give me a second, man. Was it Switzerland? Russia military. Because I just, they just said one of these countries was just talking about a draft. Okay. It was, Putin signs law moving Russia to year-round military draft. Okay. Well, let's read this. Actually, let's read this real quick. It says Russian President Vladimir Putin on Tuesday signed a law moving the military toward a year-round conscription model starting next year amid the Kremlin's effort to expand manpower for its war in Ukraine. Right? So Russia is doing a draft. Okay. Who was it again? I think it was this? Hang on. Give me a second, brother. All right. Military. Because one of these countries just says some real eye-opening shit, that made me kind of be like, whoa, what was, what did that mean? Or was it Sweden? Hang on. Okay. Let's try this last one. Okay. Yeah, it was one of these countries, man. I forgot what they said, but it was, it was alluding to a draft. But, the point is that, you're starting to see, not just America, but, other countries toying with the idea of drafting their citizens to go fight in World War III. Okay. And, they're going to need, a form of deception to get people to do that. Because, in reality, a lot of people are not really going to be willing to go lay their life down on the line, for a country, okay, that has never really been fair to them from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like, motherfuckers got it good in America. All right, motherfuckers is out here going through hell. So it ain't like people are just going to be willing to just, put their lives on the line for this, bullshit ass country. Okay. But, through various forms of deception tactics and, constant enchantments over the television, over the radio, about a military draft. Go do it. Go do it. Go do it. Here. Look, Cardi B says she agrees that young women should be drafted. They gonna tap on the shoulders of all these niggas. Kendrick Lamar, he's on stage talking about, go join the draft. Just like how they did with the CV-19 shot, man. All right. All of them celebrities that hopped on board and, they made that propaganda, that CV-19 propaganda. They made that a part of their, what could I say? Their act, if I could say, they made that a part of their theme. A lot of these celebrities. Okay. And a lot of people and a lot of the simple people seen that and they went to go take that shot. So, World War III is definitely more important than an imaginary COVID pandemic. Okay, World War III is way more important. So you could best believe, man, they're gonna go all out trying to get people to, join the military. Okay, to go fight in World War III. All right, you best believe, man. Let me, you know what? Let's get this in Let's get this in Chat GPT, right? Okay, let's get that in Chat GPT. All right, because this is what I put in Chat GPT. I put, how would the U.S. government endorse celebrities to influence common people to be drafted into World War III? Okay. Logical question that I asked Chat GPT. So let's see what Chat GPT says. Okay. What are the tactics and what are the strategies of how the U.S. government will use these celebrities, okay, to persuade people to be drafted into World War III? Okay. We're just going to read some bullet points. I'm not going to read it all because it's pretty long, but I'm just going to read important points. It says governments have already used celebrities to influence public behavior during wartime. World War I and World War II. Hollywood actors promoted war bonds. Famous musicians toured to raise morale. Movie stars appeared in propaganda films. So they've already done this in World War I, World War II. Okay. And this is back in the day when technology wasn't as advanced as it is today, right? When there was no social media, QR codes and shit. So you can only imagine how they gonna spin it this time. Okay, it's gonna be everywhere. All right, everywhere. All right, and then if people still don't bite, well, they're just gonna start snatching Americans up and throwing them in vans and forcing them into World War III. Just like how you see with the ICE situation. You're going to find out before this is all said and done that your constitutional rights, okay, have been stripped away completely. All right. So you best believe when World War III starts, okay, aside from all of these deceptive tactics and enchantments that they're going to use to get people to get drafted, you best believe that it's going to come to a point to where they're just going to start forcing people to go fight in that war, right? Kidnapping people, knocking on people's doors. You've been selected. Get dressed. You got 15 minutes. We're out, we're parked out front. You got to get in the car, okay? And we got to put you through a 2-week training because you got to go, you're being shipped off to the Middle East to go fight the war. You best believe that that's going to be a reality very soon, man. All right. All right, let's go down. It says how celebrity endorsement will work in theory today. Celebrities wouldn't say go get drafted. They would say things like freedom is under threat. Our way of life is at stake. I support those who serve. Yeah. Just like how a lot of these celebrities, they jumped on the bandwagon when Donald Trump got in office for the second term. Okay. What was these niggas saying? Niggas was on stage with a MAGA hat. Right. I support Make America Great Again. He's going to make this. He's going to revive this country. Right. All sorts of little different buzzwords. OK, that's going to stick in people's head. They're probably going to come up with another catchphrase. Right. To get people to be drafted into World War III. Real men fight better or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Real men fight better. And then they'll have a commercial with a nigga, running through the goddamn, running through gunfire on the field, and he's the hero. That's going to influence a lot of these dummies to go ahead and take their ass down to the military station and sign up. Okay. And they're going to be put to death out there. All right. Okay. This is a lose-lose battle. All right. For anybody that, joins in the fight of Armageddon. Okay. Because ultimately what? Yahweh Shai is coming back in the middle of Armageddon. So anybody out there, okay, involved in that World War III propaganda, okay, you out there fighting, you out there with your tanks, you're going to be destroyed. The Lord going to come back and destroy you. If you don't die from the gunfire and the grenades and all that shit, if you don't die from that, the Lord going to come back and put you to death. Okay? So it's a lose-lose battle. All right? If you get drafted into World War III. It says identity-based messaging. Different celebrities would target different demographics. Rappers and athletes, young men. Actors, influencers, general public, country singers, rural and conservative audiences, tech or science figures, defense of innovation and progress. They're going to spin it very good, man. They're going to put a nice little ribbon on top, okay? And package it real nice, all right? For people to go throw their life away on a battlefield, right? For a country that never gave a fuck about them, okay? And best believe you're going to be chipped. They're going to put a goddamn micro CHIP in you, okay? They're gonna do that before you step on the field. All right, that might be the first thing that they do. You get to that military station, okay, put this inside of you, sir. For whatever reason. So a lot of these people that join this this World War III, okay, that get drafted into this, they're gonna be absolutely finished with no hope. All right. It says soft power through culture, not speeches. Instead of explicit propaganda, movies glamorizing modern warfare, TV shows portraying enlistment as redemption, music videos using patriotic symbolism, video games collaborating with the military. All right. So, social media amplification. Celebrities will share stories of soldiers, visit bases and post photos, speak about responsibility and honor, publicly praise enlistment without mentioning drafts. Look at this. Moral pressure, not legal force. The messaging would subtly imply good people step up. Silence equals complicity. Comfort while others sacrifice is selfish. Yep. Okay. They're going to guilt trip you. All right. A lot of people are going to be guilt tripped. into going to go fight for their country. All right. If you don't do this, you know, you're just a demon. That's how they're going to frame it. You're a demon. What's wrong with you? You know, they're going to have a lot of these stupid motherfuckers out here getting mad at other people because they don't want to join the draft. Hey, man, what's your problem, man? You don't want to go fight for your country? You know? Fucking asshole. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be all sorts of disagreements, all sorts of controversy. Okay? Because the government is going to make it seem like people who don't do this, okay, are in a state of moral decay. Okay? And then after they paint that narrative, then they're going to come with the punishment for not joining the draft. Right? That's how it's going to go. Why celebrities are effective: bypass distrust of government, feel human instead of institutional, shape values, not just opinions, influence identity, not just decisions. The psychological goal: normalize the idea of sacrifice, reduce resistance to a draft, frame war as unavoidable, make participation feel honorable. All right, so yeah. Okay, just some of the tactics that Esau is going to use, to get people to, join the military draft, man. It's going to be very crafty, very deceitful, all right? And a whole lot of enchantments bombarding you all at once, okay? Until Esau just says, fuck it, we just going to force you niggas then, all right? Anybody who resists will just force you, okay? That's the times we coming into very, very soon, man. You got to pay attention to what's going on. Look at the climate of the world right now. Everything is in chaos and in war. Okay? So you can't tell me that we got another 200 years or some shit, right? When World War III looks like it could pop off any day now. All right? Let me get this. This is Sirach 11:29. It says, bring not every man into thine house, for the deceitful man hath many trains. Okay? Esau is that deceitful man, and he has many strategies to get you to bend to his will. Okay? Many different technicalities the devil could pull out, okay, to get you to let your guard down, and that way he could take full advantage of you. And that's what they're going to do when World War III starts, okay, and they start that mandatory military draft, okay? They're going to be saying a whole bunch of shit, using these celebrities to say a whole bunch of shit to let you to get your guard down, man. All right? To make you get your guard, help you lower your guard down, or however you phrase it, okay? But you get the point. Let's get this in the GNT. Sirach 29:11 in the GNT. Yeah, GNT. Sirach 29:11 and 29. All right, 11 and 29 in the GNT. Be careful about the kind of person you invite into your home, because clever people can fool you in many ways. You see? Let me keep reading this. This is good. It says, a proud person is a decoy to lure you into danger. Like a spy, he will look for your weaknesses. He will make good appear evil and find fault with the noblest actions. Perfect. Okay? Perfect. And that's what Esau gonna do. He gonna guilt trip people into joining the military draft. Okay? And he going to try to fool you in many different ways. This is why, you got to be locked into the spirit. Okay? Because, a lot of people are going to feel pressured to do this. Okay? Especially when they start getting them letters from the government telling them that they've been selected to go fight in World War III. A lot of people are going to feel pressured. You already know, the average person is afraid of law enforcement. How much more the goddamn military? Motherfuckers start receiving them texts and them goddamn calls from the military. Hey, you've been selected to go to fight in World War III, right? we're going to come pick you up at 0800, 0800 hours. You know what I'm saying? Be ready. People are going to feel like their backs are against the wall. But, if you locked into the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, okay, you'll know what's going on and you'll know how to properly defend yourself. And the Lord can keep you safe from, this type of madness. Okay. Esau trying to hunt you down to, ship you off the war. You know what I'm saying? So, this is why you got to lock into the scriptures. Ephesians, the 6th chapter, talks about putting on the whole armor, of the Heavenly Father. All right. So that way the devil can't penetrate your mind. Okay. Don't be ignorant of Satan's devices, Satan's agendas and his schemes. Okay. You got to be up to date on things, man. All right. Let me get this real quick. Last scripture right here. 2nd Esdras 16, and we'll start at 33. It says, the virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. And, and the reason why it's saying this is because, a lot of these young men and a lot of these women's husbands is getting ready to get shipped off to war. Okay. They're going to get shipped off the war. Okay. They're going to get drafted. All right. So it's going to be a lot of women mourning out here and a lot of women crying. Right. To watch their husband get dragged out the house by the military. Watch, she's sitting there watching her 19-year-old son get, dragged out the house, kicking and screaming. He don't want to go to war, but he has no choice. So, he's sitting there watching she's sitting there watching her son get dragged out the house by the military, and there ain't nothing she could do. And he's getting ready to die out there in the Middle East. Okay. So that's why these women are going to be mourning. Okay. Because the men that are close to them is all going to be drafted, shipped off the war. All right. Sent to never return home again. Okay. Verse 34. In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. Okay. Domestic wars, civil war, and the ultimate war, World War III. Okay. There's going to be a shortage of men out here. All right. And, these women are going to be mourning because, a lot of these men are men that, that were near and dear to them. Their husbands, their sons, their nephews. Okay. They're going to watch these men get shipped off the war. All right. And then they probably going to get a call in the next week. Well, your husband, your son, he died, fighting for his country. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, this is the reality of the times that we're coming into. And a lot of you women are going to get shipped off, too. You can't forget that. All right. And this is what's going to help bring in Isaiah 4:1. Right. Because women are going to, they're going to want to escape, this type of calamity. Right. They don't want to be grabbed up and go fight a man's war. Right. So you're going to have a lot of women that's going to try to put on that feminine role. You know what I'm saying? And, try to be a companion to any men that's left out here. So that way she don't have to, be drafted off into the Third World War. Okay. So, I just wanted to make this video. Okay. Just, pointing out that, a military draft is on its way. Okay. And, this devil, he's going to use a lot of different tactics and a lot of different strategies to get people to let their guard down, to go put their lives on the line. Okay. And, so Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson. I'll give all praises to Yahweh Shem Shai. Shalom.